the road. End-to-end football.
25 seconds left. We will get another boundary throwing. Hockey had a big lead. Mick Martin gets it. But onto the chest of Colbert. There's 18 seconds left.
Colbert, what will he do? Started on the bench. We're down to 10 seconds. Colbert. And the mark is missed down there by Barnes. Right on the boundary line. Shooter. He will kick after the siren. Oh my goodness me.
There were 2 seconds on the clock when Ablett took the mark.
There is no justice in football. That was the look on the face of Michael Martin, the master all day, and this game will be remembered for this kick. Gary Ablett, 5 metres out. Any score will do. Geelong are in the grand final. Well, how about that?
From the Melbourne Cricket Ground, this is North Melbourne and Geelong in the third qualifying final on AFL Sunday.
Yes, and what a thrilling match that was. It's rather interesting looking at the two records of these respective sides. They've played 3 times since then, and Geelong has actually won 2 of those encounters. You may go back just a couple of weeks. Many thought that Geelong should have won. Mark Roberts kicked inaccurately, and they went down in a very hard-fought game. But looking back even further over the record, Geelong has won 6 of the past 7 encounters over North Melbourne. I wonder if that's going to be a pointer to this afternoon's qualifying final. The final qualifying final to be played in the first week of the finals. And of course, it's the only match to be played in Melbourne in the first week of the finals. As I said, I think we're going to be set for a thriller here this afternoon. In the dressing rooms, they're just about ready for the battle. Players warming up in the North Melbourne rooms there, and you see number 11, Archer. He didn't play the last time that these two sides met when Geelong was to emerge victorious after getting off to a slow start. But the Cats, well, in the other dressing room, not too far from them, they certainly have something to prove. They were absolutely blown away down at Cardinia Park last week by Geelong. And Barry Stoneham, their co-captain, he told us on Friday that they were certainly going to be a different side this afternoon. So that remains to be seen. If Geelong can turn it around, probably the most enigmatic side in the finals. Good one week and then very ordinary, as we saw against Carlton last week. So this afternoon, is it going to be Geelong's day or North Melbourne? Well, there's tension on and off the ground, and even the two mascots getting into it down there. We'll give that a draw, I think. Although you would expect the boxing kangaroo to perhaps come out on top. I wonder if it's going to be like that this afternoon. Ross Glendinning, good afternoon.
Well, it's my tip, Pete, yes, and great to have been able to come across from Perth today to see this game, Pete, because it's cleared beautifully, and we spoke with Bruce before on game day. These two sides match up very well, but I think North just have the advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Australian Football League and Coca-Cola, welcome to the third qualifying final between North Melbourne and Geelong. Would you now please stand for the playing of the national anthem?
Come to life at finals time at last. The coin toss coming up in just a couple of moments. Peter McKenna, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pete, and good afternoon, Ross.
Good on you, Pete.
And particularly looking forward to this game. Both these clubs have had terrific contests for a long, long time. And, well, Geelong have had the edge, Pete, as you mentioned earlier.
Barry Stoneham, Wayne Carey, Rowan Saws. Carey has won the toss and will be going to the right. That's interesting. We've got a strong westerly here, although the wind swirls around the MCG. Let's go down to the boundary line at Russell Morris.
Yes, Peter, look, in the middle of the ground, obviously North Melbourne winning the toss. The wind is blowing pretty strongly down towards the large scoreboard, which is the right-hand side of the screen. Conditions very good. The ground quite soft. Had a lot of rain this morning. The game looks, that's pretty tense down here. Hooksy, like finals in Melbourne. Fantastic stuff. We haven't had it for a couple of days, but looking forward to a big one.
Who are you going for? Who are you going for,
North Melbourne by 8 points, Hooksy.
OK, North Melbourne by 8 points is getting pretty particular. Is John Russo there with you for a selection?
Yes, I am, Pete. North Melbourne by a bit more than 8, though. I really think that their skills should turn out the better on the day.
All right, let's go up here around the table now. Ross Glendinning.
North Melbourne, Pete.
OK, it's pretty strongly North Melbourne's way.
I'm going for Geelong because I think it's do or die for them, and they're so inconsistent. They had a shocker last week. I reckon they could come back.
That's what they've done in the past. Whether they can do it against quality opposition today remains to be seen. Archer's going to make a big difference. As I said, he didn't play before when they met previously a couple of weeks back, but I reckon Geelong just might be able to produce it this afternoon, especially if he can fire. If Ablett is kept quiet by Martin and if the suppliers cut off midfield, then Geelong will certainly struggle. And North Melbourne, you would think, would be able to get up and win.
He's got to run round more. He can't prop back.
But can he run around?
Well, he's got to lead up the ground on Martin. If it becomes a wrestling match, Martin's very hard to beat.
Both sides playing cat and mouse at the moment, Pete, with their interchange, but finally the players starting to make their way over. Freeborn, Roberts and Capuano.
Well, Roberts, of course, had 3 shots for goal when they played previously in the first quarter and missed 3 absolute sitters. So maybe it's not surprising that he's going to the bench.
There's King, Simpson and McKinnon, Pete, for Geelong.
Rugged up against the cold. A cool afternoon, but the footy looks like being pretty hot in the qualifying final between North and Geelong. Carey's won the toss. He's going to the right. McKernan wins it down. And again, McKernan can't get a clean possession. Simpson likewise. Stevens out of the congestion. Kicks North up towards half forward. Carey and McGrath. Ball paddled towards the boundary line. Scholl has it taken away from him. And it's out of bounds for throw-in 20 metres around from the behind post. Brenton Sanderson on screen. 20 games this year. And missed a couple. So throw in right forward pocket for the Roos. McGrath from Carey. And Simpson sees the ball over the boundary line for another throw in about 5 metres further around from the scoring area.
Wayne Swass starting on a half-back flank on Lee Colbert. Not on the wing.
Geelong bench, we just saw Sean Simpson surprisingly starting on the bench. Carey taking on McGrath. Carey using his great strength. Strong tackle by Gary Hocking. Here's Carey, a quick kick towards goal and sneaks it through for the first score of the game, behind to North Melbourne. So a vital battle between Carey and McGrath coming up, Ross.
Yes, and that was good play by the big fella to get his boot to ball so quickly.
So Hanley brings it back into play and finds Tim McGrath, whose dad was a ruckman many, many years ago for North Melbourne. Dennis McGrath. Here's Scholl, a former North Melbourne player. Gives it back to McGrath. A shocking kick by McGrath. Straight to Crocker. Not good play. So Darren Crocker drives it long. Allison back with the fly to the ball. Sanderson. Allison at the back of goal. Well played, Brett Allison.
Yes, that's an important spoil too by Scholl, Pete. The kick coming in from Crocker was to the square. Scholl had made pretty good ground to get back there in time. And just got his hands across the arms of the Geelong player there in Sanderson. There you see, taps the ball down beautifully. And the opportunist, Allison, that's what he's there for. To be around skirting the packs. Well played.
Brett Allison gets the first goal. John Barnes to contest the ruck duels. Barnes gets there first. No real opposition, but couldn't clear the area. McKernan, his opponent, gets the kick in down towards left half forward. Carey again with McGrath. McGrath the first to recover. He'll be hoping for a better disposal this time to Couch. The 89 Brownlow medalist kicks up towards centre wing. Colbert nearly out of bounds at that location for a throw-in. Crowd has certainly built up Over the 60,000 mark now, you would reckon.
Archer's now picking up Colbert. Swass is back on bench. Bit of a mismatch there for Swass in height.
Barnes nudged out of it by McKernan. McCarty's quick kick to Burns. Overruns it, so too did Mensch. Umpire went down in the slippery conditions. Couch tries to run through a brick wall of North Melbourne players. McCarty taps it to ground. Schwass, hand pass under pressure, ill-directed. Bell taken high. King. Umpires letting it go like they did at the SCG last night. Might have been a couple there, but not paid.
I think that's fair enough, Pete, initially, just to let them get running. There's nothing too severe. Let the game flow.
Well, that's the worst part of the afternoon. I think the weather forecast, cloudy with a few showers. We've had a couple of those already. Scott fumbles, or Rock fumbles. Schwass off the side of the boot. Will it be in or out? It bounces just inside the line. And tracked over there by John Barnes and also Scott, of course, a former Cat. Played 132 games at Cardinia Park, or at Geelong.
Gary Ayres looking on. Well, he's been through many finals. A great player. 2's on North Melbourne to win this game. 11-8 Geelong. And that's what you would expect the general public would think too. Ablett and Martin. Martin beats him with the ball and takes it over. A big clash coming up between those two. And Ablett's got a lot to prove. There's been a lot of publicity during the week. Gary Ablett. And there was even a suggestion at one stage he might be omitted, which would be unthought of down amongst the Geelong community. There's Barnes with a big fist again. Martin in front of Ablett. Take it away for North Melbourne. That's by Peter Bell. Here's Allison again. Take it away by Mansfield. Well played onto the left foot. He bends it back and they take a mark. Stoneham is there. Ablett at the back. Oh, he couldn't pick it up. He's still going, Ablett. Socket up the ground by Tanner. I think it's a goal.
It is.
Yes. Well done, Grant Tanner.
Yeah, quite right, Pete. Ablett needed support there. The ball did fall his way because the pack flew and he stayed down. He carried that pack, and then the ball just wouldn't roll his way. Mansfield very good again, the ball directed towards goal. Here we see the pack fly. Ablett down. Ball falls his way. Couldn't just control it. Good pressure there from the side by King, but Pete was right. Tanner in from the side. Good conversion.
They call him the rifleman. He really had to be spot on with accuracy there. Tanner, he got the goal, so it's one each in the first quarter. Now a chance for the Roos. Simpson. Oh, that's close. It just bounced the wrong way.
Yes, he should have handballed onto Carey. I think Pete and Carey just suggesting that at the time that he was free in front of him. But another 10 metres, that probably would have been a certain goal.
Adam Simpson's played all 22 games this year, so we've got 2 Simpsons out there, and they've both got number 37. Handley. Wobbly punt, or 2 number 6s. Number 5 got it, Anderson rather. Carey, quick give, long kick by the skipper. That's a great roost, and it's there. Carey's first. Anderson, very quick hand pass to Carey. He made no mistake. North by 8 points.
Well, the handball initially coming inboard from Rock, Pete, was a bit of a hit and hope. Good mark there by Anderson in front too. Barnes should have punched, he knew that. Then Carey, terrific kick for distance. Handley not able to stop it in time.
North Melbourne by 8 points. You can see a bit of a height advantage there to Carey. So Barnes jumps and backhands it. Taken away by Anderson. Knocked further afield by Simpson. The punch on comes down to Allison. Still Allison going on with it. Handballs it out in the direction of Blakey. Blakey's caught high. Was he pinged? I think it was high. Yes, and the umpire has found that. Hayden Kennedy certainly over the shoulder against Mansfield.
Mansfield saying, have a look at the scoreboard, you'll see what really happened.
Not a good handball from Allison, though.
Here's John Blakey up to the pocket, and it floats out on the full. So not a good kick by Blakey. Brenton Sanderson has resurrected his career. Former Adelaide Crow and Collingwood player. Couch to centre wing. Barnes should mark. Oh, he's caught behind again, but McKernan's taken a good mark. Twice Barnes has been caught behind and outmarked. A long kick by McKernan. Crocker is there. The fist away by Sanderson. It's a loose ball at half forward with Craig Scholl. He tries to shuffle it out. Hocking doing the hard work. He locks it in. Umpire said, give it to me and he'll bounce it 35 metres out from the North Melbourne goal.
North Melbourne by 8 points. Strong westerly blowing at the MCG. North seemingly going against it, but Russell Morris told us that it wasn't really that way down there. Carey up higher. Snap at goal by Blakey. Was it touched at the post? Made the decision easier for the goal umpire. So one behind. 9 points the margin in favour of the Roos in the first quarter. Handley to kick in again. He's gone even shorter this time. McGrath from Sanderson. Tim McGrath with the job on Wayne Carey. Of course, former North player in junior ranks, won a Morris medal. Curtin on centre wing.
He's having an influence already.
He's on top at the moment, isn't he? Tanner, yes, their goal kicker with that little toe poke down the other end. Now the umpire's bringing it back, Grant Vernon. He's had a word to Mansfield. He's playing time on.
Poor kick by McKernan too, Pete, having done the hard work marking that footy. Just punched it to nowhere, really. Should have been more directly toward goal.
So what's on offer for Tanner? They go the same direction, he does. Hall on his own. Some doubt about him with the virus. He's okay. Hocking. Ablett and Martin. Archer chipped in front. Gave him good support. Archer again tries to barge his way through. He can't. It's tough in the clinches. Ablett gets clear. Onto the left. Snaps. Misses. One behind. Kicked by the great man. So Ablett's first score of the day. A minor one for the Cats. 1-1. North Melbourne 2-3. The difference back to 8 points.
David King to bring this ball back in, former Port Melbourne star. One of the quickest players in the game, David King. It's a low trajectory kick. McKernan again, getting away from Barnes, so Johnny Barnes will have to lift. Corey McKernan drives it long. Carey versus McGrath. It's over the back. Speedster's needed. Socket away by Tanner and bounces beautifully a couple of inches before the line. And he'd be happy with that. He gets congratulations from Michael Mansfield. Now, I think is that North Melbourne or Geelong?
She's a Dean Laidley fan.
Yes, definitely North. With all the blue and white around the place, it's hard to tell. As we see McGrath flicking it back with the left hand. That was Riccardi might have been held then. Mansfield gets it to Tanner, who's doing well. Tanner on the left foot. McKernan sets himself again. Can't mark. It's tapped the ground. The players swooping from everywhere. Punched away by Anthony Stevens over the line on centre wing.
Good contest there, good contact I should say between Hockey and Stevens. They're usually protagonists on both sides.
3 marks, 4 kicks to McKernan, one of the stars of the first quarter so far. North by 8 points. Here he goes again against Barnes. Barnes wins this one. Again can't get a decisive punch away. Hall runs into a teammate. It's Hocking. Ricocheted kick up towards right half forward. Archer leads in the race. And the educated little hand pass to the boundary line. We've seen worse played. Boundary umpire is going to throw it in. Right half forward for Geelong. Must-win situation for the Cats. So Stoneham with Fairley this time. 2 of the veterans. Stoneham in front. Archer from Stevens. Handley punches. Barnes had it, lost it. Or Tanner thought about going off the ground. Luckily for Bell, he didn't. There was a free kick nonetheless.
It was leg, Pete. Umpire Hayden Kennedy saying so.
Peter Bell. Short to Carey. Long way from goal on centre wing. Steinford in front and behind. Got 2 hands to it. Couldn't complete it. Anderson a chance from 45. Terrible kick. And the ball just dribbled over the boundary line by Bradshaw. He's played 21 games this year. Had 4 seasons at North Melbourne. And he played in 2, but about 60 reserves games. So he's been able to turn his career around once changing clubs. Handley and Crocker. Crocker over the top, took a great mark last week here.
Hocking out of the congestion, kicks to half back, big pack of players. Allison, who kicked the first goal. Scholl nearly, Sanderson whipped into the ground. That's a great tackle. Umpire Grant Vernon is going to bounce it.
Very good umpiring by Grant Vernon, because Sanderson had no chance of getting rid of that.
Oh, no. Terrific pressure by the forwards there, Scholl, particularly in that tackle.
So King obviously going to come and have a run in the ruck shortly. Here's the danger man, Carey. Oh, good play by Carey to Scholl, who bends it back. His goal. Great play, Carey. Well, he's dangerous playing Carey, Ross.
Yes, he gets a run of the ball like that and he can feed off to someone in a better posse, which Scholl was in. And Scholl's been good value up the forward line the last few weeks, just giving him another taller option and a mobile play. He's been starting in the square. Good teamwork.
And North Melbourne with the answers at the moment. Back we go. Listen. 3-3 plays 1-1 in favour of North. Here's Robert Scott playing against his old club. He drives it to the half-forward line. Oh, the ball hits the deck. Chance for North Melbourne here. It's shuffled out. Having a shot for goal as Simpson was given to him by Scholl. The bounce all important here. McGrath sensibly takes no chances whatsoever and puts it through from behind. Barnes coming off the ground. There's Wayne Carey. Looks as though he's wincing there.
Yeah.
But Barnes off and
King on.
coming on Stephen King.
Yes, when Carey went to ground in that pack situation, the two Geelong players came down on top of him. They just got a bit of a corky on their hip.
So Stephen King to take on the ruck work. McKernan's been terrific so far. Riccardi just up from the back pocket. Looking for options across half back. Which appears rather statuesque at the moment. Not much happening. Oh, McKernan.
It's his fifth mark, Pete.
What a quarter he's having. Scott into Simpson. Scholl, who's been in the goals last week and this week. Not a good hand pass. Put his teammates under pressure. Sanderson gets ridden into the ground. Wasn't too high again. The umpire has decided to bounce it. About 35 to 40 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. North doing it well so far. 3-4 to 1-1. Geelong needed a good start. They haven't been able to get that as we approach the halfway mark of the quarter. Thumped away by Simpson. Only one person there, and that's Riccardi. He mops up well. A little chip up the couch. Two left footers. Steinfort at half back. Thought about going on. He saw Allison on the mark, then had to go back. Now it's Scholl. Scholl kicks up towards centre wing. Archer late on the scene. Mansfield. Geelong need a goal. Oh. Just a steady. And that's a terrible kick. He's picked out McKernan as if he were his own teammate. Laidley. North looking the goods at the moment. Laidley's kick, again, not a good one. Crocker. He's got support though from Stevens. Stevens onto it like a seagull on a piece of fat. Down to half forward. That's a great mark. Terrific grab.
Robert Scott, Pete.
Why would Mansfield go onto his right foot instead of getting back onto his left, Ross?
Because Ablett had led to his left foot, Pete. The instinctive move was that way. Great mark there by Scott, who's got the job on Riccardi with Swoss playing half back.
Robert Scott, 132 games for Geelong. A screamer for North Melbourne's fourth. From 30 metres out directly in front, and he's kicked it. 4 individual goal kickers for the Roos. They look the goods. 28 plays 7, a margin of 21 points.
Yes, the important thing from North Melbourne's point of view is invariably when they've gone inside 50, they've scored, whether it be a goal or a point. So they've been pretty effective there. Stevens, who's got the job now on couch, with John Blakey running with Hocking, proving important there, and that's a great mark by Scott. Deserved a goal.
– 21 points they lead by North Melbourne, and we all know that Geelong always have a lot of goals kicked against them. It's just so important that Geelong start getting the ball out of the centre and kicking goals at their end, because they're a very attacking side, Geelong. Handball 16-7. That's pretty indicative, Ross, that North Melbourne are in control.
Running better, yep.
McKernan, the big fist away. Couch puts it on the ground. Quick hand pass comes out to Hocking. Little toe poke kick. Courage is needed. Rock, almost a mark. And did he pay it? No, the umpire didn't pay it. So might have just juggled and eventually touched his foot. But there's a tough little rover, Anthony Rock. Umpire to bounce almost in the centre of the ground. Geelong will need to get a move on. They wanted a good start. They haven't got it. McKernan versus King. And talk about King, that was David King, smothered by Burns. Good play by Ronnie Burns. Hocking went in very hard on Fairley. It's not clear, and then eventually the pack develops, and it'll be a bounce.
Good tough contest there. Hocking straight ahead, Fairley straight ahead as well, and Fairley collected the ball and kept control of it. And there's the centre breaks. McKernan, or North Melbourne particularly, can control there at the moment.
So it's 45 metres out from the Geelong goal. They need something to happen here. Colbert dives on it. Oh, he nearly had his hand kicked on. Yes, and it's a free kick to Colbert for kicking in danger, I think, Ross, is it?
Yes, and umpire Hayden Kennedy was actually the central umpire at the time, on the middle of the ground, came past because I think Rowan Sawyers was unsighted where he was positioned out on the 50, Pete, so Kennedy came down and made the decision you've seen there on screen.
And that's what umpires do now. They work in, if another umpire can be 30 metres away, if he sees something another umpire doesn't see, they pay it. They work as a team. So they need this. Geelong.
Get a good shot of it here. Colbert goes down.
Oh, cool. Well, that was in danger, that kick, as you could see. It's Stoneham with the kick. Well, I thought it was Colbert's kick. And there it is. I think he might have missed.
I think there was something else that happened just after.
Must have been
that,
something after.
Which Kennedy must have paid for Archer interfering with Stoneham. I can't help you that. I didn't see.
Well, he obviously hasn't paid the kick in danger anyway.
Well, the kick probably went to the correct side if that was the case. Schwartz to kick in. Took a terrific grab last week against Richmond. Crocker in front. It's all tied up. Right half forward for Geelong. 7.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Peter Bell spoken to by the North runner. 20 points the margin in favour of the Roos. Crocker dispossessed. Man of the quarter, Curtin. Scott. Carey just gives McGrath with a bit of a nudge, gets on his bug and gets caught. Holding the ball. So Mansfield with the free at half-back. King. As the rain begins to fall, can he take on McKernan? A show of strength down there. King gets buffeted into the turf and is rather slow to get up. They're about a 6 count and he doesn't look good.
Michael Mansfield's kicking the position's pretty ordinary.
Well, change been made too by Pagan. Bell is off. Mark Roberts on.
I'd say King might have to come off. I don't know what he did. Stoneham wins the ruck duel there. It's going to be a free kick going North Melbourne's way.
I think he whacked his knee on that cement gutter, Pete.
Oh, gee, that might be good. Curtin's kicked off. Scholl. There's a bit of shepherding there. He's going to get the free kick. And Allison is not happy.
There's Carey. He's trying to hold his ground, Pete. Goodness me, he's going to try and protect himself as well.
I agree with you, Ross.
So Bradshaw from half-back.
Mensch off, Barnes back on. Swass has to pick him up, Pete.
Very quickly, Stoneham trying to lift his side. The co-captain not having much success at the moment. Rowan Sawyers is going to come in and bounce. King, meantime, is limping off. And we'll get one of our boundary riders to see what's happening down there. But he fell awkwardly on the outer side and he goes straight to the bench.
David Mensch comes on as we see Stephen King getting some treatment. There's Ronnie Burns. They want a big game for him. He buffeted off the ball. Roberts was caught a little bit high. Derek Hall tried to get it. Stoneham did well. Got it out to Handling. They're off and running. Here's Couch. Couch into Burns. He's got it. Oh, that's a mark, surely.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yes, it is a mark. Can't play on. Peter Riccardi will have to bring it back.
Yes, Archer was intent on the footy, but just late contact.
Now Burns is passing this off into the pocket. Ablett. Oh, I don't know whether this is good play. Should be coming to the top of the square, not to the boundary line.
Yeah, particularly, Pete, because he's got a mismatch there with Barnes and Swass, so he could have gone long to there, as you mentioned, and Barnes had the sit.
Well, when you're that close to goal, put the pressure on the opposition, put it up at the tip of the goal square. 4-4 plays 1-2. Barnes out of the ruck. Now, is that holding the ball? Umpire says no. So it'll be a bounce about 25 metres out from the Geelong goal, and they find it very difficult to break through this tight, tough defence. There's Mark Roberts going to do some ruck work here against Barnes. Barnes used his body beautifully, taken by Roberts. Stevens a little toe poke. Then it was Swass bringing it out towards the half-back area and helped on its way by David King. So a throw-in about 35 metres around from the Geelong goal. Gary Ayres, well, he doesn't look too perturbed at the moment.
Early days, but not good signs, though, for the Cats, particularly if King has a long-term injury. Let's hope he's OK. McKernan really has been dominating proceedings at the moment. Kick by Roberts. Fairly.
Done a good job on Stoneham so far, Pete.
Old Flossie.
Not that the ball's been there that often, but he's done his job. He's kept Stoneham down to one kick.
Dennis Pagan, well, you couldn't read much on that face.
Crocker to come off, Pete, too. I'll just let you know he's coming on.
So boundary thrown out aside. Stoneham with McKernan, the latter too tall. Bradshaw back heels it almost. Tried to get it to Riccardi. Ball socket out of the condition up towards the side. Oh, Shaw went down very heavily. Steinford had it knocked away from him. Handley needs a good bounce to get around Carey. Does so. Now Tim McGrath from half-back. Steinford takes the mark at right centre wing. Couch calls for it at midfield. Brownlow medalist. Short left footer out the half forward. Mansfield, who is a goal kicker. Just outside 50. That's a better delivered kick. Ablett gets taken out of the contest much too early by Martin, and you'll get a free kick. Ball definitely wasn't within the required distance.
Would have been a mark anyway then, Geelong.
Yeah, Mick trying to say that he was coming back hard to try and get the fist on the ball, because he got himself caught about 15 metres in front, which he normally does with Ablett, playing front by a few metres. So the kick came over. He said he's running back to try and get it. Mick, you won't change his mind.
Ablett's kicked one behind already. Badly needed one for Geelong. Ablett directly in front, 15 metres out, kicks and goals. Well, the Cats get their second. It's 4-4 to 2-2.
Yes, that's where Mick Martin has to be just a little careful. He doesn't get too far behind. You'll see this, he comes back. Well, he had eyes on the ball, but he just threw his arm out. In fact, looking at that...
No free kick.
Exactly, Pete. He
Barnes
just went back in.
Anyway.
Well, exactly right.
So it would have been a goal anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, a badly needed goal to Geelong. They've just picked up in the last 5 minutes. We see David Minch giving away a heap of height. Now Rock gets it to Roberts, down towards half-forward. Sanderson loses it to Freeborn on the left foot. He bends it back towards goal. Hanley back with a flight. Good play to tap it through from behind.
Freeborn's the player to have come on, Pete, and probably could have settled a bit more. He replaced Crocker. You see on the screen there, Darren Crocker. I think he's okay.
So Peter Riccardi can go over the top. On the shoal. Starting to look better now, Geelong. They've settled down. Couch at half-back. So Paul Couch calling for someone to move. He keeps it low. Oh, bad kick. He's given it straight to Roberts. Roberts will drive it long in towards the square. Danger here. Corey McKernan on. And his name written all over it. And it's marked 10 metres out.
Yeah, that's a perfect
What a
example
quarter.
of how to make the opposition play people with a turnover, get the ball quickly back over their heads as they've given the ball away. Some of their field kicking, Geelong has not been good. We'll acknowledge that. And Hanley just losing sight of the ball. He's got to turn around and try and keep his eyes on the footy.
McKernan has goal. And that is Corey McKernan's first. He is best man on the ground by a mile. He's had 6 kicks, taken 6 marks, had 3 handballs, and now kicked a goal. And what an exciting player.
Yes, and Gary Ayres has taken Sanderson off. McKinnon comes on. He's going back to pick up Freeborn. Always in the box seat there, Corey McKernan, because he kept his eyes on the ball.
5 different goal kickers for North Melbourne. That's the man of the quarter, Corey McKernan. 1 goal doesn't really tell the whole story. So the Roos reasserting their supremacy in the latter half of the opening term. They do again through McKernan. Over the head of Carey. Shoulders there to mop up. He was in the goals last week. They need a few more, the Cats, don't they?
Guess who he handballed to, Pete?
His brother.
He's off.
Was he off? I thought so. Crowd did.
Well, if he's off, that's holding the ball.
Full play on. It's a foot race on centre wing. Hall should get there first. He's been a most consistent performer for Geelong during the year. No one to give it to. It's all North Melbourne. Laidley, the junkyard dog, does the mopping up. Laidley's kick towards centre wing. Back to Hall. It's kick to kick. So Derek Hall, as Gary Ayres makes another change. Simpson comes on this time.
Steinford.
Hocking got front position. King got the footy. Still Hocking goes. Still King. Laidley's tackled. Simpson. First kick. First touch. Over the head of Fairley. Well, Martin taken high. That'll be a free kick to the North defender. On the shoulder. And a 50-metre penalty as well.
That's where the advantage that McMartin does have if he does play in front, is he can attack the ball that comes out towards them. There's space in front. Did the right thing here. Taken high there. Definitely.
Gary Ablett is 4 times it's gone down there. He's been behind Martin 4 times. The number one thing, Ross, you know, as a forward, you must play in front.
Long kick by Martin. McKinnon was there. Kick away comes towards centre wing. Robertson, Simpson, Colbert. Good smother by Allison. Ball kicked off the ground but out of bounds. Left half forward for North Melbourne. A minute and a half remaining in the opening term.
Good teamwork. There's a bit happening between these two. Hayden Kennedy got them in check.
Pointing out the blood rule that Ablett should go off. The glasses on him. I can't. Well, maybe a little bit there, isn't it?
Yep.
He's staying on. Footy's at the other end of the ground, though, meantime. Kick out of the congestion comes to half forward. Rock was held. Carey around Tanner. Good hand pass. This is Anderson. There's a good kick on the run. That looks pretty good. He's kicked North Melbourne 6. Great kick.
It's a second handball, Pete, from Carey. This resulted in a goal. He gave one to Craig Scholl. Just an important target there. Good clean ball handling. The players running past in support, crossing the lines, prepared to work hard. Clever play too by Scott, just to chip that ball forward, get it out of the congestion. And a good finish by Anderson.
You're right about Carey, Ross. There's Ablett being attended to. I don't think he's coming off, is he? Yes, he is. So Mickey Martin got his way at last. He wanted Ablett off with the blood rule. Well, he's coming off. And how'd you like to play on that mean machine there, Roscoe? And Ablett, well, it's nearly quarter time anyway, so I doubt that we will reappear till after quarter time. And coming on is Brenton Sanderson. But you're right about Carey, has given away 2 beautiful hand passes that have resulted in goals and kicked the ripper himself. The sun streaming across the ground now. We look to the west, it's a lot brighter. But it's not bright on the scoreboard for Geelong. They're on 2-2, North Melbourne 6-5. Barnes flicks it back. Here's Anderson, a greatly improved player, Stuart Anderson. He goes 10 metres back to Schwass. North are looking good. Wayne Schwass brings it out. Anderson drops what he should have taken. Close to the boundary line. He's caught by McKinnon, and it will be a throw-in.
Throw it on centre wing. Under 1 minute remaining in the opening term. Cat supporters looking for something to happen. They trail by 4 goals, 2-2 to 6-5. Due mainly to the dominance in the ruck of Corey McKernan, who's had a fantastic quarter. 7 kicks, 6 marks, and he's capped it off with a goal. Scholl. Oh, slips catch there by Allison, who can be prone to taking the spectacular mark. Punch away by Riccardi. Mop up by Tim McGrath. The hand pass is a tad errant. It's out of bounds, but there weren't too many other targets down there, really, in the broad term. So Geelong will be looking forward to the siren to try to regroup. And we've got about half a minute remaining before that happens. So McKernan with Barnes. The former's had a fantastic quarter. Couch reads it best. Off one step, kicks towards Scholl. Brushes one tackle, gives it straight back to him. Now Mansfield intercepts. Opportunity for Rock. Burns nearly had him. Rock had the kick. Riccardi will need to get back quickly. Can't. Oh, gee, that was too high. There's a bit happening out there. Riccardi's got the football, but it's not his free kick. Gee, Brewer will have a headache for a while. Colbert a chance, close to centre wing. It's out of bounds. The umpire says throw it in, and that will happen with only seconds remaining in the quarter. So a great term for North Melbourne. 6 individual goal kickers. Ablett and Grant Tanner the goal kickers for Geelong, but North Melbourne has certainly had much the better of the play on their forward line. And that's told in the scoreboard story. McKernan edging out Barnes, who has a few words to say to the umpire as the siren goes. Not going to change much, Johnny. 6-5 to 2-2 at quarter time. A great term by North Melbourne. They started favourites, and in the first term so far they've indicated that they're going to be very tough to beat here this afternoon.
As you mentioned, Pete, the importance they have is that they've had those 6 individual goal scorers. They're not relying on the one person, and their preparedness to run hard into position. They've had a good target in Carey at centre half forward, and Flossie Fairley's been on top of Stoneham. Mick Martin's kept Ablett in check, so the key forwards of Geelong have been well held. And then behind Carey you've had Scholl, who's been very effective, and their on bowlers are running the ball, and they've been inside 50 in that first quarter. Just a stat that just gives you an indication of how well they've controlled the game. They've been inside 50 20 times, and Geelong have only been able to get inside their 50 on 8 occasions.
2-2-14 Geelong and North Melbourne. 6-5-41 at quarter time at the MCG. We'll take a break, back with the second term in just a moment. .27 points the difference at quarter time, and North Melbourne well and truly in command. 6 individual goal kickers. Corey McKernan, the star of the quarter, with 7 kicks, and he has taken 6 marks. Let's go to our boundary riders now. Gentlemen, how did you assess the first quarter?
Well, Peter, look, it was pretty rough and tumble stuff, especially with Gary Ablett getting a stitch in the side of his nose. Stephen King's right knee's pretty heavily bruised. He's had ice on it, but I'm not too sure whether he's coming back. The wind is going to the right of screen. It's coming across the top of the ground. They're swirling down under.
I think, just as a passing comment, I think Geelong really have to try to counteract the North Melbourne back line. They just seem to be getting far too much run out of that area and being able to deliver the ball to their forwards without all that much pressure.
Start of the second quarter, North Melbourne leading by 27 points. Gary Ablett still on the bench. 41 plays 14. McKernan, the star of the opening stanza. Brewer onto Couch, kick number 5. Hall, a nice trap. Tanner, one of only 2 goal kickers for Geelong. Ablett got their second from a free kick. Kicks inside 50. Mansfield got an awkward half volley, and the umpire will bounce it. First goal vital to start the second term. Umpires today, Vernon, Soares and Kennedy. It's Grant Vernon to put it down. McKernan edged out that time by Barnes. Burns will go off the ground. No, Laidley prevented him from doing that. Chance for Laidley again to mop up. Ablett comes at him pretty solidly, just got back on the ground. And he's fired up now, Gary. And Mickey Martin there to accommodate him.
Well, Ablett was going to pick on Martin, Laidley and King. There's a couple of goers there.
I'd stand back and watch. Could be interesting. Might be more interesting than the World Heavyweight contest in Las Vegas today.
And I left out Glenn Archer.
So North Melbourne free kick. Just adding marginally to McKernan's stats. They're already impressive. They come from everywhere. Couch, a little give, not well directed as it turned out. Geelong players saying holding the ball. The umpire disagrees. Carey gets back onto his feet, and it's going to be a bounce just near the centre square.
So there's Wayne Carey, who's kicked the goal and given 2 away with excellent handball by Rowan Soares to bounce it at half forward for the Cats. They need a couple of quick ones. There's Sanderson getting it to Tanner. Tanner, a wobbly kick to the forward line. Oh, McKernan. This is one of the best individual efforts you'd ever see so far in a final by McKernan. Outstanding as he brings it out in the direction of Swass, who marks. Virtually uncontested then, that mark. Swass can chip it across to Ian Fairley. Can he get it over the top? No, it might have been a bit risky. Good play by Fairley. Brings it to centre wing. Oh, Simpson underneath it. Holding decision behind the play. It'll go the way of either Hocking or McGrath. It's going to McGrath. Tanner, a mark. centre wing, but they seem to be taking a lot of time to get it forward. Chip pass, finds Simpson. Bella's back on the ground for North Melbourne. As Simpson drives it, oh, good kick. Mansfield has marked. And is that 50 metres? I think it is. Is it 50? Let's have a look at the umpire. It's a free kick to North, is it? What for? It couldn't have been. Oh, that's going to be given back to Mansfield. Stupid play by Laidley. Ridiculous. And look at that one. And that was bad play, Dean Laidley. But what was the first free kick for? I mean, it looked a clear mark to Michael Mansfield.
Well, it was, and I thought probably 50.
Let's see what happened.
Probably 50. So the mark comes to Mansfield. Archer over the top late. Takes him down.
It must have been against someone else. But Mansfield can't believe it. Anyway, it's Mansfield's kick from just inside 50. Michael Mansfield, they need a goal and he's hooked it. His kicking at times can be very indifferent. And he's kicked it behind, but gee, there was some undisciplined play there. What's happened down there, John? John Russo?
Look, the only thing I can think of is that as the remonstrators come in as the third man in and knocked over the bloke that originally had the free kick, then it's been reversed each time.
Well, we couldn't see the first one. Barnes sock it away towards centre wing. Here's Sanderson. Was he caught high? Umpire said no. Fairly to Allison. Danger for Geelong. The ball up to full forward, and Craig Scholl has taken the mark and will kick from 45 metres as Dean Laidley has been benched for his indiscretion a moment ago.
There's Glenn Freeborn on.
And Craig Scholl, who's a good goal kicker, will kick for his second from 45 metres. And it's close. I think he might have just missed. He has.
1 goal, 1 to Craig Scholl in the action last week in front of goals. And 2 effective scoring shots today out of North Melbourne's tally of 6-6. McGrath, too tall for Bell. He's just up from the back pocket. Going to bring it back across goal. Handley. And again, McGrath, Sanderson. McGrath tried to set something up. Oh, they've gained about 3 metres. As if you were using up the shot clock at the end of the game. Simpson, who started on the bench.
Laidley's back on, Pete. There he is now.
Burns in front. Laidley behind him. A little flip up to Simpson. To half forward. Roberts in front. McKinnon there with him. Carey rides an opponent into the ground. And they all go out. Scholl. Marty McKinnon. 25 games with Adelaide. A bounce just outside 50. North Melbourne centre half forward position. Carey and McGrath. Hocking. Barnes, awkward half volley. Gets the hand pass back from Couch. Oh, great tackle.
Yeah, well done from Blakey. He was running with Hocking, Pete, to keep him in check. Then the ball came through to Simpson and he tidied him up.
Rock. Just off the edge of the square. Handley punches, so too McGrath. Carey chases. Flipped up by Handley. Flipped out of bounds by Handley. A throw, free kick North. Not for out of bounds, but the throw. He paid. Wayne Carey, who's been pretty good so far. Had a hand at a couple of goals. He's kicked 1-1 himself. Let's look at the indiscretion again.
He scooped it, didn't he?
All he had to do was keep it along the ground and the umpire might have passed it.
Wayne Carey just suggesting the umpire, I can't go any further around. I've just stood over the fence.
Yeah, he'll be in the legends room if he keeps going.
Just the sort of bloke who could kick it, though, isn't he?
Right on 50, right on the boundary line. It's got the distance, not the accuracy, and 1 behind. So he's got 1 goal, 2 against his name, the North Melbourne champ. 6-7 to 2-3. No goals scored so far in the second quarter.
So pressure on this Geelong defence. North Melbourne move that ball so quickly and they kick it long. They put a lot of pressure on there. Scholl can give it to McGrath. McGrath will look for Tanner. No, he won't. He comes inside instead. Chips it with a little short pass. Finds Brewer. But they're not getting far. Brewer, a beautiful kick because he saw Tanner wide. That was great vision. Tanner should kick it. Kick it long. Down towards half forward, and that's a good kick. He finds Mansfield, who's livened up that forward line. Michael Mansfield drives it long. They want someone to take a big mark here, and there it is, Barnes. Oh, good mark.
So it looked as if there was just going to be a big mauling pack there and no result there, but Barnes just with a great athletic leap. Jostling there, interference. It came straight over the top. Good clean grab. Colbert's back on for Geelong too.
So John Barnes kicking from dead in front, and he's gone. A badly needed one, Ross, to Geelong.
Yes, well, that's the sort of effort they need from John Barnes to complement, or offset, I should say, the work done by McKernan, because he's the fellow with the leap and the ability to take that grab in that situation and turn it around. He's done it before. It's a good effort.
Well, it was 27 points the difference at quarter time. Difference now back to 22 points. Tanner overruns it. Scott taken out of it. Likewise, Couch. Hall has it punched away from him. North again in numbers. Anderson loves a run. Kicked a nice goal in the first quarter on the run. Still he goes. Another bounce. Gets to 50. Draws a man. Harrison, first goal of the game. He's got North Melbourne's first of the second quarter.
Great shepherd by Anthony Stevens too. On the wing. Kept Burns out of the chase. Burns certainly would have got there.
Anderson's done a hamstring in that run, I think.
Has he? So, good teamwork too. Stevens was going to run past Anderson to get the handball, then he realised there was a chase on. Got in between his teammate Burns, kept Burns out of it, and set up a good goal.
Well, that will
be a shame for the young fella, yeah. See some replay, just going to set up.
Just there.
Oh, yeah.
Allison finished it off, but Anderson may be finished for the day, and the final series. Ablett in front. Martin wins the duel. Loses it in the tackle. Couch, the win out the ball. A free kick.
In 50 metres.
50.
Yeah, the tackle too high, Martin Keith. And the Geelong players continued on. Definite 50.
Second time that's happened to Mick today, taken too high, and the second 50-metre penalty. Ablett was the offender last time. It's Mansfield this time. And so that will bring him up to midfield.
Well, Gary, if I was a coach, I would hate that when you give away 50 like that. Twice Geelong have done it. A wobbly kick by Martin to half-forward McKernan. Couldn't mark that one. He's Hocking trying to press his way through the pack. Gets in a hand pass. Hanley. Well done. Scholl. Oh, well played. Terrific skill by Scholl. Back it comes to Barnes. Tried to be a little bit too fancy. Carey receives from McKernan. Brett Allison, another one. Yes.
Three's kicked.
3 goals to this dangerous half-forward, but really Barnes is trying to be just a little bit too fancy.
Yes, and now, as you mentioned, Pete, Gary Ayres will really have to look at that situation and work out disciplining his players with those second 50s so costly. Martin just attacking the footy, sets this up, and numbers just told for North. Then they had options all around the place. Geelong backs under enormous pressure. As Pete said, Allison kicks his second in this quarter.
3 for the game to Brett Allison. And Carey, another hand pass for the assist. 55-21. That's the biggest lead we've had so far. Simpson. Quick kick out of the congestion. Brewer tried to get it to Riccardi. Not successful. Stevens on top of it. A little flip up. Allison again. Man of the moment so far. Colbert in pursuit. Kick away for North Melbourne came from Freeborn. Marking contest. Punched away by McKinnon. Hocking. Unusually quiet for him. Certainly by his standards. They want more out of the Cats champ. It's all North Melbourne. Riccardi tried to get a kick away, couldn't do so. Gets the hand pass from Simpson. His namesake's there. From Colbert. Rock. Couch comes in for the tackle. Riccardi flipped it out the back. McKinnon. Punch by Hall. A foot race. Tanner's down. You've got to hold your feet. He's opposite number 10, Stevens. To the racehorse, Schwartz at midfield. Oh, real daisy cutter to Carey. Carey plays on, long bomb by the champ, into the goal square. Height needed, Geelong's got the height down there. Shaw was outnumbered. and the ball off hands for one behind.
Yes, Carey did so. If he just ignored the lead of Mark Roberts, that was the best option. He was putting Scholl under enormous pressure back there, 2-on-1.
Handy to kick in, 56-21. So over 5 goals the difference. Barnes starting to come into his own a little bit, but of course he was overshadowed in the first quarter, and McKernan, what a quarter he played. Couch, Brownlow medalist, kicks to Mansfield, too far out to score, kicking a bit to goal from there. Gets the order to play on, he might be in trouble. Bradshaw in the mud, over he goes. Was that in the back? Geelong under enormous pressure, and it's John Blakey now to bring it away. He gives it away to McKernan again.
Well, I just thought that was pathetic play by Geelong at the other end. Punched away by Handley. Here's Rock. So Anthony Rock will bend it back into the pocket, and Roberts is here. They've got a lot of talent, this North Melbourne side. Roberts into the pocket. There he is, Corey McKernan. He's marked. He's on the boundary line.
8 marks, 10 kicks.
He has been absolutely sensational, McKernan.
Yes, he's really giving John Barnes something to think about. Barnes just lamenting behind there. No chance of catching him.
So going for his second, McKernan with a banana kick. It's a check side. He might have just missed, judging by crowd reaction he has. But a great individual performances, and the sort of player that could win a premiership for a club, McKernan.
Yes, and the other thing which has really been a telling factor, Pete, it's North's leg speed against Geelong and all the contest and their preparedness to get to the contest in numbers. Really upsetting Geelong. They can't match it at the moment.
Well, down the other end, Mansfield's bit of play there. When you've got it 55 metres from goal, it was just terrible football. As we see McKinnon looking out here for Hall. Derek Hall hasn't been in the play much. He gives it over to Tanner, but they're under enormous pressure. He's run down from behind by Allison, and that's indicative of the way the game's going.
On the boundary line, Russell Morris has some news for us.
Yes, Peter, look, Stuart Anderson, I'm not too sure that whether it's referred pain through his back into his hamstrings. He's had a problem with his left hamstring, but he's up and walking around now. Hopefully he can come back on, but they've just been massaging his back and also doing a lot of manipulation around the back area.
Next fly, Laidley and Burns take it over the line, past the halfway mark of the second quarter. 8-9-57, North Melbourne, Geelong 3-3-21. So 36 points the difference. Barnes, good leap. Tried for Hocking. Buddha was going nowhere. Rowan Shores will bounce it.
I don't think there's any tougher side playing the game than North, Pete.
Well, there's pretty tough characters out there, aren't there? Martin, Archer.
They go hard at the ball.
Mark Roberts, Darren Crocker, McKernan. There he is again, on his own that time. Hall. Funny old kick, Roberts on the end of it. No mark taken. Simpson and McGrath. Simpson wins out in the end. Carey, second chance. McKinnon. A little give. Didn't come off that time to King. Tim McGrath. Mops up over the head of Couch. Geelong's leading kick getter. He's into double figures already. Won't get one here. That's out of bounds. Again, the pressure of North Melbourne, the telling factor.
Mark Roberts comes off for a spell for North. Darren Crocker back on.
So boundary throw in. Left half forward flank for the Cats. McGrath directing traffic against Bradshaw. He's got the height there. A swing and a miss. Hocking a miss. Oh, 2 Geelong players collide. He ran into a teammate. Now Mansfield. Colbert hasn't had a great day. The fumbles. Oh, great tackling by the Roos. Stevens missed the hand pass going past. Mansfield again tries for Burns. Can they set something up here? A ball. He kicks off the side of the boot. Freeborn a chance. Flip back. Couch on the end of it. Shoots at goal and misses. One behind only.
Yes, well, if ever they needed a lifting goal, that was it. They found it so hard to get in that situation. The pressure from North terrific. The Geelong players just not seeing the first option and not finding their targets. They're going to handball this time from Mansfield, going to the foot of his teammate.
All they have to do, Ross, is get the ball, run 10 and kick it long and put a bit of pressure on there, fiddling around and trying to do the fancy dance stuff. Now here's Barnes at the back. That's better. Gives it off to Hocking. He should kick it like, no, he goes short this time and finds Scholl. And Scholl is 50 metres from goal, and they need 2 or 3 quick ones to get something moving. He doesn't muck around, Scholl. He kicks from 50. It's a high floating kick and it's wide. And one behind only when goals are badly needed. But no one really looking like taking over this game at the moment like a McKernan.
Yeah, you're right, Pete.
So Swass puts it out in front of Rock. So Anthony Rock chips it across, finds David King. King, he's got another loose man. It's Anthony Stevens. Stevens drive, wasn't a good kick. Brewer waits for the bounce. Now he can come out wide here. He finds Hall. Hall's got, well, he probably did the right thing then, just steadying it a bit. Brings it back into Brewer. Brewer will bring it in long, in towards half forward. Fairley puts himself in front and takes a strong mark, virtually uncontested.
Fairley once won the club's goal kicking many years back now. Robert Scott, clear of Riccardi. Punch away by McKinnon. Didn't really clear the zone. Freeborn on the burst, runs in and kicks but misses. Not too happy with himself. Glenn Freeborn, his first score, a minor one for the Roos. 8-10-58 to 3-5-23, so again out to 35 points the margin. Cats badly needing something to happen. Not happening. Scholl. Hall the target. Carey. Scott out of bounds in front of Riccardi. I think we expected it would be a lot closer than it is. 6 3/4 minutes from half time and effectively 6 goals North Melbourne's way. Stoneham, who's been quiet this quarter. Carey and McGrath. Riccardi, a juggle. Scholl missed it. Hanley likewise. Allison. Carey. Confronted down there by Tanner. He's got him in a bear hug. Right half forward flank for North Melbourne, and Rowan Saws indicating.
Blood rule, I think.
Rule.
Yeah, Anthony Stevens, he caught one behind the play, Pete, from Tanner, in fact. I will say, in the previous kick-out.
I reckon the umpires are brilliant at picking some of these blood rules.
Well, I think obviously
they took it 30 metres away. I reckon some of the players must be...
Yeah.
They must point them out.
They must yap all the time and try and get rid of the good players.
Exactly.
If they're a crook player, they wouldn't tell.
Stevens is not bad, and of course Ablett was in a similar situation in the first quarter. Roberts has come on as the replacement player. Just over 6 minutes before the main break. Get some work done there, cut lip. Carey indicating to Roberts where he should man up. He's gone on to Derek Hall. Carey, good use of the body, gets rid of Stoneham. Another ball up.
They need something, Ross, out of Lee Colbert. He really hasn't done anything.
No, normally he's given it to them too, Pete, in past games. Big responsibility, but he's had that. He has that ability to do it, Pete, doesn't he?
Well, hardly bothered the statistician effectively today.
2 handballs.
That's just what I'm saying. There's not much. King, one of the players we mentioned that usually runs in a straight line at the footy. Oh, McKinnon has taken a screamer. Great mark. Not a great hand pass. Tim McGrath certainly had to work. Now he has to come back across goals. Luckily, Barnes is there, and they should be able to run it away. Not a great bounce. Scholl. Mansfield, well, probably the most effective forward at the moment. Ablett and Martin, they double team the champ. Scholl again. Not out of bounds, but close enough to it. So it's going to be a bounce right in the forward pocket.
Well, that's the perfect time when... So we have a look at the mark again of McKinnon.
Yep, could have hurt himself coming down too, but he's all right.
But when Mansfield broke away then, Ross, again, Ablett didn't lead. They need someone coming out in front. They're just bombing away there. They won't beat North doing that. And the only way to beat Mick Martin, I think you'd agree, is to lead up the ground.
Come up forward, demand the footy, Pete.
I'd be tempted to leave Ablett one out and just tell him to
You can see when the Geelong players are going for it and they look up, they're a bit hesitant because there's nothing coming at them.
Well, that was Mitch. Mickey Martin tries to get his boot to it. Here's Ablett. Quick little hand pass. Ronnie Burns. How do you get out of that? On to Hocking. Hocking. 2-on-1. 2 North. 1 Geelong. Let's see what Stoneham can do. He hasn't done much yet. Battling. Look at that. 3 North players in there. And the umpire will come in and bounce. But, gee, they got the numbers round the ball North.
It's been the story of the game so far, hasn't it? So a bounce. 15 metres out from the square. Stoneham wins it. Scott tried to crash his way through. Riccardi. Snap, that's close. Hocking has marked it or it's a goal. He tried to play on, but he's going to be around at a pretty terrible angle. And umpire Grant Werner just checking with the goal umpire that it hadn't gone through.
Oh, this will be a difficult shot. He might have to kick it on the left, Roscoe.
I think Grant Werner just telling him why he'd been put on such a terrible angle.
Well, he is a good left foot kick, isn't he? If he
need to be a terrific left foot kick from there.
Well, he could snap it, run out and snap it, but they're ready for it, North.
Well, he's clever enough to kick this.
Boy, do they need a goal. Banana kick, he's got it. Great kick. Never in doubt, Gary Hocking. His first goal, Geelong's fourth. It's 8-10 to 4-5.
Yes, he's done a lot of hard work, Gary Hocking, a lot of bullocking stuff and trying to push the ball forward. Hasn't had the same impact on the game as he did in round 21, where he was just outstanding. He certainly worked enormously hard, as I said. Just reads the game so well, but numbers have told against him today so far.
North Melbourne by 29 points. If they could sneak another couple before half-time, they'll be right back in it. Ball to Burns. Burns an up and under kick up towards full forward. Ablett waits at the back. A little bit of a push. Here's Mansfield on his left foot. Oh, tried to bend it back and puts it over the fence and out of bounds on the full. So he's had a bit of blood coming from his mouth too. But Mansfield, his kicking has been very, very wayward. David King. Back pocket. Mark Roberts coming off the ground for North Melbourne. Coming on will be Matthew Capuano. Here's Hall. Not quick enough with the handball. North Melbourne much quicker when they've got hands in that situation.
Yeah, they're playing far more positive footy, Pete, and their confidence is very high. They're running straight. As I said, they're prepared to run hard for their mates.
It's going to be a very congested bounce. Barnes gets a free kick. McKernan scratches his head. So John Barnes was replaced in the first quarter by King after McKernan got the better of him, but he's playing better now. Mensch nearly. Ablett at the back. Kicks it goal, kicks it behind. So Gary Ablett's tally for the afternoon, 1 goal, 2. And that 1 goal came from a free kick in the first quarter. We don't dispute that.
So North are getting away with that match-up down there of Wayne Swass on bench. Just using his run to get away.
King kicks in, Carey the target. Got a hand to it. Ablett, a hand pass. Give away too many, Gary. Tanner nearly caught with the footy. King, Hocking, 2 goers. Hocking, can he trap it inside? He can't. It's out of bounds. Geelong's left forward pocket. With 2 3/4 minutes remaining before half-time. 1 goal to Gary Hocking, kicked moments ago with a good banana kick. The check side, depending on what school you went to. Difference is 28 points. Fairly, Stoneham. Chance for Simpson. Centering kick, the idea was good. Unfortunately, it didn't come off. Stevens back onto the ground with a rather handsome bandage. And this guy has just absolutely been sensational. What else can you say? McKernan. Kicks towards left half forward, not a well-directed kick though. McGrath and McKinnon, the 2 Macs combined. McKinnon towards midfield. Couch is okay in front of Allison. He's gone over the head of McKinnon a little bit longer. Back to Simpson, who started on the bench. Ablett doesn't get the bounce he wanted. Martin Is that deliberate? Yes, it is. Free kick. Didn't disguise it too well, Nick.
No, not terribly subtle, was it?
Tanner's taken the mark, but it's going to have to go back.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's easy from here, where you've got to make a decision whether you take the ball both hands, but some players get to such a defensive mode that they do that all the time. Other times they could take a mark and they punch the ball away, but
He went straight at the line, didn't he?
And weighing up his options, one is to come back to Mensch, who's on a better angle but further out. The other is to have the shot. Everybody else is pretty well covered. He goes to Mensch. Mensch just outside 50. Need to be a good kick. Right into this westerly breeze. Oh, absolute shocker. Maybe that sums up their day, Ross.
yeah, in some respects too, and just not taking enough care. And that's a Cardinal sitting footy, as we all know.
That was Mensch's first kick. Probably one he'll remember for a while for all the wrong reasons. Hall applies a tackle on his opponent down there, John Blakey, and it's going to be a ball up. So they've got just over a minute, Pete, and they need a couple of goals.
Certainly need at least one. Capuano gets it down. Hall a little fumble. Can't get his boot to it. Hocking in after it. And the umpire will come in and bounce it again. But just slow with the hands and the feet.
Just that little fumble
Geelong.
too, Peters. It gives North a chance to come in and put the pressure on. That's all it needs.
There's Gary Hocking. Had 9 kicks and 4 handballs. Trying his heart out as usual. Barnes and Capuano. Barnes wins it. There's Hocking again. Oh, grabbed but he didn't have it. Free kick.
Well done, Pete. Correct.
Free kick. Gary Hocking was dragged off the ball when he didn't have it. So bad error by the North defence.
Yes, tackle come.
with a wobbly kick to centre wing. That's better play. I think they've put Colbert into the action, have they, Ross?
Yeah, they put him as a spare man defence, Pete, and that's specifically what his role is, to cut that one off.
Well, he's given us across to Hocking. Hocking is really trying his heart out. Finds Steinford. Oh, bad hand pass.
Too high.
Too high, but very lucky to get away with it because McGrath was covered. So Tim McGrath hasn't been disgraced.
Yeah, definitely too high.
It was definitely a free kick, but gee, shouldn't have been given to him in the first place as it comes down towards Ablett. Can't mark. Mickey Martin. To Rock. And North are off and running out of defence with a hand pass that comes from Rock. On the mark, Roberts. On the Swass. Oh, this is good stuff by North Melbourne as Swass drives it long. Up towards Crocker. Was that a push out? Umpire said no, it's not even a mark. Hand pass by McKinnon to Riccardi on the Brewer, and away go Geelong.
Brewer's kick, and it travels about 15 metres. Back to Scholl. To Brewer. Has to be quick. Kicks to centre wing, Couch. Over the head of Riccardi. Not a good hand pass. Riccardi with the tackle. Stevens. Runs into Hocking. Gets around Hocking. Spears the pass up towards Simpson. Off one step. Kicks inside 50. Carey and McGrath. Carey the first to recover. Will he give a hand pass or will he have a shot? On to Allison again. Great hand pass. Allison into goal. And has kicked it. 4 goals to Brett Allison. And that was a replay of what we saw in the first quarter, Ross.
Yeah, correct, but that's his third. He's given off in that situation. Just controlled the body-on-body stuff with McGrath, then controlled the footy, chased it up again, just kept in front, knew what was around him. Allison gave him the run pass on the overlap. This is good control by Allison too, in about half a dozen steps to control the ball at that pace. Know you got a bloke on your hammer, and to finish off accurately isn't easy. Well done.
Brett Allison has kicked 4. Just what they didn't want. Geelong as McKernan goes forward and he finds Roberts. Mark Roberts, long way out from goal, but they've got the marking power down there on the forward line. Carey is back in the square, but he goes short. Mark Roberts and finds Blakey. Danger that signs for Geelong. John Blakey drives it high. A pack develops. McGrath in front. Good play by Tim McGrath. Although Carey has done well, McGrath certainly hasn't been disgraced. In fact, McGrath has had 11 kicks, 6 marks and 4 handballs. That's out in the full, and that's typical of Geelong's play today. Their field kicking's been absolutely terrible. Robert Scott, 55 metres from goal. You can't win games kicking like that. Into the hole at half forward, the mark has been taken, and it's by Scholl.
That's where it hurts you, Pete, isn't it? You have that poor disposal by hand or foot, and it can cost you so dearly, particularly when you're so close to goal against a quality side like North. Craig Scholl back in the forward line.
Well, we saw Gary Ayres a moment ago, and he must be very disconsolate watching some of this field kicking as we see Scholl kicking for his second from about 40 metres. He drifts it to the right, and Geelong let off the hook a little bit there with that miss.
1 goal, 2 kicked by Craig Scholl. 9-11 to 5-8. And as Pagan having plenty to say in the box. Brad Scholl takes the mark in the back pocket. Blakey, Barnes, Roberts. Roberts with the kick, smothered. Chance for Simpson. Scott gives him good support. Kicks out of bounds, not on the full. Dribbles it into the right forward pocket for a throw in 5 to 8 metres from the behind post. 13 minutes left in the third quarter. Geelong has had a lot of the football, but it's North Melbourne who have increased their lead to 27 points, which is what it was at quarter time. The Cats got it down to 22 at half time, but they can't seem to get any closer. Stevens across his body, could be dangerous, but no mark taken. McKernan snares it well, turns on a threepenny bit, kicks it behind or out of bounds. It's the latter, and so a free kick in the left back pocket for Geelong will be taken by Tim McGrath.
Not many people of that size can turn so quickly, have that agility, get the ball to boot.
He's really had a terrific day, especially in the first quarter and first part of the second. And good mark to Scholl. The lights have been turned on here at the MCG. Because of the dull conditions, kick drops a little bit short. Should be a Geelong mark. Crocker just a little bit late on the scene. Brewer trots back to his position for the kick. Oh, gee, that was dangerous. Luckily, Simpson, McGrath. They move it out well. Brad Scholl to Barnes. Needed to be accurate, and it was. Tanner needs a good bounce. Gets it. Goes over the head of Roberts. Long kick down to Ablett territory. Archer, yes. Read it best. Takes a good mark.
Well, Gary Ayres will be tearing his hair out because really that was uncontested, that mark. Archer gives it across to Blakey, and when it comes that forward line, the Geelong players must contest. As Blakey comes through the middle, looks for the big fella McKernan. Who'd blame him for that? McKernan drives it wide. Bell couldn't mark, but he's got plenty of time. Oh, McGrath went in hard. Good play. The umpire pinged him for in the back.
Yep.
Carey and McGrath pushing and shoving as little Peter Bell, the former Docker, West Coast Docker, as he brings it in towards half forward. Over the back, Carey, goal!
Too easy.
Wayne Carey has kicked his second, Wayne Carey. 10-11 to 5-8, and boy, they don't want to be a good side now, Geelong.
Yes, and the plaudits from the North players going back to Glenn Archer. Just set himself in that half-back line to take the mark, to clear the ball out of the danger area. They changed direction, came back through the centre. McKernan's long kick. Bell couldn't quite hang on to the mark, got the free kick anyway. There's that easy goal.
2 goals, 2 to Wayne Carey, and you would think that the match is just about past Geelong now. Rock, a long way to go, I know, but the pattern is not what Gary Ayres would want to see at the present stage of proceedings. Steinfort gets the hand pass away to Handley. Handley from left half back. He's kicked to a running contest. Tanner. Archer. Well, that was intended, but it's a good result. Out of bounds, left half forward for Geelong.
Barry Stoneham's had 1 kick and 1 handball. Well, it's just not good enough, is it? He and Colbert and guys like that can't get into the game.
Barnes and Roberts. Barnes out the back, intended for Couch. Handley tries to stop it, couldn't do so. Rock, hand pass. Laidley caught. Burns, good tackle. Now the umpire's found a free kick. It's a holding decision.
Stoneham, I think.
Barry Stoneham. Well, you were just giving his stats, Pete, so...
Is it Hocking?
You might be Stoneham.
No, Stoneham, I think.
Stoneham's right.
1 kick so far by the co-captain. Missed the last 2 final series through injury. Maybe this is as far as he's going to get. Grab when he didn't have it there.
Oh.
Not much in it, was there, Ross?
Nothing, Pete.
Stoneham will kick from 45. And in the rain and the gloom, he's missed. And that mirrors Geelong's feelings probably at the moment. Barry Stoneham 2 behinds, 5-9 to 10-11. They need something to happen quickly.
Well, they've just got too many players down. North are playing good, strong, hard football. The ball is at half-back with Anthony Rock. He drives it long. Gee, they've got some penetrating kicks in this side. Mark Roberts has a score. Brewer, that's better. On the Mansfield, who's trying very hard. A wobbly kick to the forward line. And again, it's just too easy for North Melbourne as Archer marks. He kicks it wide. The King as the rain tumbles down at the MCG. David King drives out in the direction of Peter Bell, but it beats him over the line, and this will even help North Melbourne's cause even further.
Yes. Make it even more difficult for Geelong to get back and get some free-flowing game going.
It's a cloudburst.
And just looking to the west, it is very, very dark. We just might rain for a while now. That could have been against Barnes. It might be Roberts' kick, I would think. Mark Roberts, yes, holding the man. John Barnes doesn't like it.
Well, it's similar conditions that you'd find at night time now with the greasy ball and the rain. Blakey, who seems to have recovered from that heavy knock he got from Ablett when he just about put him into the fence. Carey Tried for Allison again, the old 1-2. Didn't come off that time. Cats almost roll with their backs to the wall now. Freeborn from right half forward. McKinnon can't catch him, so he's got to be quick. Allison again. Free kick. The advantage. Allison for number 5. 15 metres out. And he's dumped it. Good night, Nurse. 11-11, 77 to 5-9, 39.
Yes, and the early momentum of this quarter in the first 3 or 4 minutes that was with Geelong has certainly swung very quickly back in North's favour. That's what the free kick was going to be for, to McKernan for holding on by Colbert. They were both holding.
They were both holding.
Yes.
It's
so the advantage was then played. Allison sharked it beautifully. As Pete said, kicked his 5th.
11-11 plays 5-9. Maybe Allison was going to kick a goal anyway in that situation, but he's kicked 5, that dangerous little half-forward flanker. Stoneham can't get into the game. Fairley tried to soccer it off the ground. Here's Laidley. Oh, kick it away is King with great pace, and look at that. As a booming kick comes down towards half-forward. Over the back is Mansfield. Tries to knock it out. Freeborn gives it away. Mark Roberts on the left foot goes for home. It's another one.
It's raining and raining goals.
North Melbourne playing magnificent football. 12-11 to 5-9, and Geelong can't do anything about it.
No, they can't either. There's again the half back line just rebounding that ball very quickly for North, getting it through the middle quickly. Geelong players can't hang on to that greasy ball. Just numbers again. Mark Roberts had the chance to handball to Allison. Would have been on his favourite left boot. That's a terrific kick by Roberts.
Umpire throws it up in the centre. And of course it was Mark Roberts, the culprit, who missed those 3 easy goals when they last played. Couch, Ablett and Martin punch away by the ladder. Good footy. Handley, they can pick up the greasy ball. Archer's just about got him. Big fellow did well. Simpson passes to Hall, and it's good. Marking in front of King. Took his place in the side despite a virus during the week. Derek Hall has had a fairly good season. Played in 21 games. But a difficult shot for Derek Hall right on the boundary line. Rain still teeming down. It should ease in about 5 minutes. 35 metres out. Well, gee, it's not a bad effort. He's got it. He's kicked the goal. And to say they needed that would be the understatement of the day. Derek Hall's first, Geelong 6th, 6-9 to 12-11.
Yeah, so no reaction from the Geelong players here. No spontaneity amongst his teammates to congratulate Hall. They finally did, but there was nothing there. It's just a bit of a lack of spirit there. They seem to be broken at the moment.
Rain still sweeping across the ground. McKernan jumps early. Laidley is there. Eventually it was Bell getting it down towards the half-forward line. Colbert caught. Hand pass. Roberts to Ellison. He loses the ball in the tackle. Again it's Bell going forward. In towards full forward. Mark touched by Carey. Should have let it go.
Should have.
Was it a goal?
No.
Oh, Carey should have let that go through. Why did he go for the mark? It was floating through for a goal.
Yes, I agree with you, Pete. You assume he knew where he was going through the goals, but it's a good kick by Bell. Very direct.
Let's see where he is in relation. Well, it seemed to be inside the line, but pretty hard from that angle. We'll give the goal umpire the benefit of the doubt. Punch away by Roberts. Mansfield tries to brush a tackle. Can't do so. Gets pinned. Good tackle by Roberts. He's not going anywhere, holding the footy. Free kick is going to Scholl. Colbert gets up. Hasn't had a great day. No, it's going to Roberts. Thought it was. The refrigerator. From outside 50. Good kick with the wet and greasy ball. Barnes. Riccardi. Still teeming down. Couch in the back pocket in front of Scholl. Takes the mark. Under 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. That shot gives you a good idea of how heavy the rain is. Heaviest shower we've had today, certainly. In front was Simpson. Now Bell. Can he make amends? Allison's kick 5. Onto the left foot. That may bounce through. It has. He's got number 6. Well, he can't do a thing wrong, Brett Allison. 10 kicks and he's kicked 6 goals.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pete. That's all he needs to do in that area. Just get half a dozen to 8 kicks. If he can kick 3 or 4 goals, I'd be very happy with that. But to get 6 at this stage, outstanding effort.
Brett Allison has kicked 6 goals from that half-forward line. Hocking still battling his heart out. Here's Simpson. He's lost it. Stevens in after it. And Hocking again battling away. Well, he's had 13 kicks and 7 handballs. He can hang his head. He can hold his head up high, I should say, Gary Hocking. But he's got a few mates who should really have a good look at their finals performances, because they've been very disappointing again, Geelong. Here's Riccardi with a quick kick to the half-forward line. Ablett at the back. Socket away by Laidley. Out here towards Anthony Rocky. Waits for the wet ball. Taps it to the line. He's quite happy to see it roll over. And, well, I think basically North Melbourne must have just been a lot tougher and harder than what Geelong.
Yeah, they have, but they've run very direct at the ball, and they've run direct at the body. They've had numbers around all the time and put pressure on with their leg speed and their tackling.
Stoneham up. Blakey down. Spiral punt kick towards midfield. Carey solid at the football. Oh, he's hurt. Might be hurt a little bit there. That was a pretty hard collision with Mansfield. You need a hammer in each hand to hurt Carey. Kick us to half forward. McKinnon did well. Stevens into the goal square. Bell hasn't got the height. Punched away by Simpson. Paddles it further forward. That's a good word at this time of the day with the rain. McKernan, man of the match, but he couldn't kick that one. Brewer rushes it through from behind. Well, I don't want to see him limping. Let's hope he's okay. Bit of cramp, maybe.
Might have just gone over on his ankle a bit, Pete, in the tackle.
Yes, he's holding that area. Sky looking a little brighter, but unfortunately on the horizon for the Cats.
Need some windscreen wipers here, Pete.
Yes, it's like doing the call from the inside of a fish shop, isn't it? Riccardi kicks in.
Peter Riccardi to the half-back line. Barnes in front. Here's McKinnon. Tucked away by Roberts. And Barnes still having plenty to say to the umpire. So there's Carey making that mark.
Oh, the knee.
Ooh.
Just got one around the backside.
Now
Back.
McKernan.
So the ball at half forward. The Cats try to take it out through Hocking. Here's Swass. And boy, looking at the way North are playing today with their big guns, Ross, they're going to be very difficult to beat for the premiership this year.
Yeah, I think they've had a pretty consistent team performance today, but that's been, I would say, the pleasing part about it. Whilst McKernan's been outstanding, the rest of the side have all made a pretty even contribution.
Yeah, they're all doing their bit. Their back line's been tight and hard. There's Blakey. McKernan couldn't mark. Handball back from Scholl to McKernan, and he's kicked it behind. Oh, they're dangerous with their long kicking, and they get it down towards those big high marking forwards.
Still looks a little bit proppy, McKernan. Here he is. Well, just probably wondering what else he can do. Brewer kicks in. Sort of telegraphed that one a little bit, and Freeborn was able to intercept it. It's out of bounds now in the left forward pocket. Under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Geelong had plenty of the football at the start of the term. Couldn't kick goals. North Melbourne have had it since, and they have kicked goals. Brewer. Kick to centre wing. Roberts. Couch waited for it. Stevens didn't. Holding the ball. Geelong free kick. Simpson. Hocking. Back to Simpson. Freeborn's nearly got him. Laidley. Nearly. Burns. Archer. No, it's Rebounding again, as you would have expected, fairly. Schwass was high, went for the screamer. Took a beauty last week, not the day to do that lately. McGrath in front of Carey, and the ball punched over the boundary line for a throw-in on centre wing. Good battle between those two. Carey has set up a number of goals there with astute hand passes to Allison. Hall and Hockey. Hall's kick around the boundary line. Stodham flips it up. Simpson a chance. The two Simpsons, both number 37. It's Shawn that wins out. Handley, oh, Alan Border would have been happy with that in slips. He just couldn't drag it in though. King. Hall again. Once more, couldn't complete the mark. And on centre wing, it's going to be a ball up.
Scholl. For Geelong will hand it over. That's Brad Scholl. Umpire Hayden Kennedy throws it up. Hall goes for the big punch, and it rolls over the line with a sting right out of the game. I think
Flattened
North,
out, but isn't it?
Yeah, North have broken their hearts, I think, Roscoe, Geelong.
As I mentioned before, Pete, Geelong started pretty brightly in this opening few minutes of the third quarter, but North certainly taken control since then.
Here's Couch. Oh, kicks it straight to Robert Scott. He'd be enjoying this against his old club. Allison has been a star. 6 goals he's kicked, Brett Allison. And they're even getting cheered when they kick it across the line out of bounds now. So the North supporters in full voice. Allison is a very dangerous half forward. His dad was a terrific player, Tommy Allison, for North for many years. Lives up in Canberra. Now, here's Stevens. Driving it in the direction of McKern, and the big fist comes from Barnes. Here's Scott. Robert Scott keeps it low, and I think it's another one. Yes. Robert Scott has kicked his second, and this is becoming a cakewalk at the moment. 14-14 to 6-9.
Yes, and again the value of direct play and just getting the ball forward quickly with good direction and distance. Give your forward a chance. Barnes did the right thing, get up and spoil, but unfortunately put it into the corridor, and then Scott just following through nicely. Had the chance to handball over the top. Did the right thing, kicked the goal himself.
Robert Scott getting the goal. Just over a minute left in the third quarter, and 98-45. You couldn't really see Geelong or any other side for that matter coming back from there. Stevens across his body, kicks to half forward. Courageous attempt to mark. Scholl. Colbert, McGrath. Hall. Awkward half volley. Stevens with the tackle. Simpson went in solidly on Scott, who kicked the last goal. Scott wobbles it down towards half forward. Scholl again. Oh, Schwass took off. Freeborn's got the mark. There's a push. It's going Geelong's way. Shaun Simpson is going to be the recipient of the free kick. Simpson's at centre half back. One-on-one duel. Scholl couldn't mark it. Couch. Handley has it punched away. Simpson, that's Adam Simpson. Martin. Oh, Ablett just dumped Stevens behind the play. Might be downfield. Umpire Kennedy's got his arm in the air.
It is, Pete.
Schwass is going to take the free kick. Only a few seconds remaining in the quarter. Schwass is not sure himself. As I said, Stevens got dumped by Ablett behind the play, and Mickey Martin's coming up to take the kick. That'll give him a lot of satisfaction. And a shot for goal, Mick. He's going
to go for the Torby.
Supreme optimist.
No, Mick will try a drop kick.
Oh dear. Dave McNamara wouldn't be able to kick it. Well, he's given it a nice old roost, but he didn't quite get onto it. A lighter moment at the end of the third quarter. Almost a smile there. And Gary Ablett and Hayden Kennedy exchanged pleasantries. But at three-quarter time, you would think a match-winning lead to North Melbourne. The Roos leading 14-14, 98. Geelong 6-9, 45. I suppose conversion's the name of the game, Ross, isn't it? And Geelong was in possession of the football for about the first 5 or 8 minutes. Couldn't really get much on the board. North Melbourne then got their turn and they did much more with it.
Yeah, they turned it around pretty quickly, and that was a sign of a quality side. I'm not sure whether Gary Ayres can do much more now with his positional changes. He's tried a few things. The Colbert move as a sweeper across half back. But all in all, there's just not enough players standing up there. We've mentioned a couple that have. Gary Hocking's had 13 and 8. McGrath's had a pretty good game in terms of possessions on Carey. I think Carey's been pretty effective in presenting himself and also giving goals off. Couch has had 18 and 5. Some of those kicks, whilst he's worked very hard, have been difficult to create something because he hasn't had much support. And then the rest of the players fall away fairly quickly.
OK, 3/4 time. North Melbourne 14-14, Geelong 6-9. Back shortly at the MCG. Welcome back to the MCG. 43 points the difference at the final change, and really it's very hard to see how Geelong could get themselves back into the contest now. It was 27 points at the first change, 22 at half-time, but North blew them out of the water in that third term. Allison has 6 goals, Carey and Scott 2 each, and Gary Hocking, the major goal kicker for Geelong, and he has 2. Let's go to our boundary riders, Russell Morris and John Russo.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. I think I predicted North Melbourne by 8 points. I think it's 8 goals, obviously, but Geelong, very, very difficult to get back at this stage in these conditions, Johnny.
Yeah, well, I think the conditions have deteriorated so much now that, you know, a 2 or 3 goal lead would almost be unbeatable, and, you know, North have stretched it out so much now that it'll be very, very difficult for Geelong to come back from here.
On a final note, Peter, you say you're in a fish shop. We're in a fish bowl in that third quarter. Very, very wet and very, very cold.
Thanks, fellas. Let's see Gary Ablett and Mick Martin, one of the many duels that they've had. This is Ablett and Blakey. Seemed to be a fair bump, but it was certainly pretty solid, and for Blakey was okay.
Yeah, Ablett starting up on the wing this last quarter at the moment.
Final quarter. Is it the final quarter for Geelong? You'd think so, looking at the scoreboard. And is it the final quarter? We're going to be seeing Gary Ablett in a Geelong jumper. Kick away comes from Sanderson, Hocking and Scott. Couch. Riccardi. Back to Burns. We haven't seen much of him, only his 5th kick. Burns has a go at the goals, and he's kicked one. Well, it certainly may lift the Cats.
Well, they've made a few positional changes, Pete. Hanley's gone to full forward. Barry Stoner to full back. Ablett to what could be construed as a half-back flank. So a bit of restructure there to see if they can manufacture something, and, well, it's opened up okay.
Well, I think that one of the best games Ablett's ever played in his life was on a winger in the centre one day at West Coast. He kicked about 5 running down the ground, so let's see what he can do up there, and let's hope Geelong can lift here. McKernan brings it down to the half-forward line. Allison has kicked 6 goals. McGrath and Carey have had a great battle. Here's Brett Allison again. Oh, well played. Back to Carey. North Melbourne playing with the ball at the moment. Carey's got the time to give it back to Ellison. Ellison brings it in towards... they've stopped and looked at each other, the Geelong players. Here's Craig Scholl. This will cost him a goal. Around the corner goes Simpson. Oh, don't tell me he's kicked that. I think he has, yes.
Yeah, it's just amazing decision, Pete.
He might have got a free kick anyway, Ross. He was taken high. It's 15-14 to 7-9. We'll see it again.
And sensible play too by Carey and Allison to share the ball on the outer side there. Scholl and Barnes just expecting the other to go for it. Both left it in the end. And a good finish there by Simpson under some pressure.
Adam Simpson gets his first goal. 1 goal each in the final quarter. That's not going to help Geelong's cause. Barnes' kick. Hocking. Up and under. Good mark, Archer. Read it best from Sean Simpson. Schwass. And they share it around. Laidley. Laidley brings it towards centre wing. Freeboard in front. Couldn't complete the mark. Ablett from Mansfield. A little chip by the champ. Couch. Well, he's certainly trying to lift the flagging spirits of his side. Handley. It's taken out of it. Rock, Stevens. Long left footer. Beautiful vision. McKernan. Off 2 steps, kicks to Bell. The long to the short. And Peter Bell will go back. Will he have a shot? Probably a little bit too far out to score.
He's really grown in stature this year, Peter Bell. Warm to the role he has to play at North Melbourne.
Through Rover. In build. This is Sanderson. Chopped off into the hole. McGrath. McGrath from right half back. Hall peels off for him. Derek Hall short of right centre wing. He's gone down towards Ablett. Marks in front of Martin. Only got the 1 goal. Martin looking at the umpire instead of his opponent. So Ablett gets on his bike, goes goalwards. Hooks it. Hanley at the back. Burns couldn't get his second for the quarter, and the ball rushed through by King for a minor score. So rush behind to the Cats. 15-14 to 7-10, exactly half their score.
Already Ablett looks a different player up the ground, Roscoe. Bit of move, bit of movement, bit of freedom. Getting away from the square where he was trying to wrestle with Martin. David King, a beautiful kick right out of the danger area, and a good mark to Wayne Carey. Gets it to Rock, and Anthony Rock brings it in towards half forward. No mark to Geelong. Sanderson caught. That's holding the ball. Oh, goodness me. I thought the rule was if you tried to beat the man and then you were caught, that's holding the ball.
I'm with you, Pete, but the interpretation's obviously
What's
changed.
this? He tries to run past the man, caught. Anyway, Riccardi brings it to the centre of the ground. Schloss caught by Ablett. Good strong tackles. Kicked in midair down towards half-forward. Courage is needed. Knocked on by King. Flicked back, but straight to Roberts from McGrath. Danger here because Blakey's got it. Onto the left foot goes Blakey. Bends it back. And too far and 1 behind.
2 behinds kicked by John Blakey today, the former Fitzroy star. 135 games with the Lions. 105 now to 52. Stoneham kicks in. Hasn't been his greatest day. But then again, he's got a few teammates into which we could put in the same category. Rock tries to go off the ground. Now Scott gets a chance. He'll bend it across his body towards half forward. Stevens makes position. Mansfield takes him out of the contest. The refrigerator's got it. Roberts towards right half forward, and Carey looking for options. His hand passes have been spot on today. Goes for the kick there. Scholl couldn't take it. Ball kicked off the ground. Bell. They're trying to rush it behind. They finally do.
Looked like a rugby game with the line in rugby then.
Tim McGrath.
He's tried his hardest. McGrath.
Yeah, he's given 100%. Coaches can't ask for anything more than that. Stoneham kicks in. Bradshaw's taken the mark in the back pocket. Riccardi still inside their own defensive 50-metre line, over the head of Allison. Sanderson just inside the line. Brenton Sanderson, formerly of Adelaide and Collingwood. Fisted to the back of the pack to the advantage of Hocking. Game to bounce it today, Buddha. Across to Couch. 2 Cats veterans combining. And the boy from Boggy Creek, long into Ablett. Martin all over him like a rash. Now Archer. After Burns missed it on the way through. Hocking got a fingernail to it to keep it away from Roberts. And it's a free kick. Going to whom? It's going to Hocking. So Hocking, short of left half forward to take the free kick, under 15 minutes remaining in the match.
Gary Hocking going for his 16th kick here. And 9 handballs, so he can hold his head up also, but they've had too few. Brewer, long way out from goal. This is where they've been falling down up here at on the forward line. Oh, dangerous kick. That's a free kick. Must be the Barnes kicking in danger. And David King knows it.
Yes, he just couldn't quite hang on to the mark and just control the wet footing as it came to ground. Threw his boot at it, but at the same time Barnes had gone over the top of the ball, and the correct decisions made.
John Barnes has kicked 1. He's had 3 kicks and 7 handballs, 6 hit-outs. McKernan has had 19 kicks, 13 hit-outs. Now, there's the kick. It's a shocking kick. And I think that typifies Geelong's day, Ross.
Yes, there's been a few things today that's typified it. We just see this again. That's the drop mark by King, goes back onto it. But Barnes had gone over the top already.
It does typify Geelong's day. It's out of bounds right next to the behind post. Catch right forward pocket. Two number 6s, Barnes and Fairley. Ablett on Martin, the tackle. Nick a swing and a miss. Ablett. Laidley content to rush it through for a behind. Indiscretion earlier from Laidley. He was dragged, giving away costly kick. 15-16 to 7-11. And King to bring the ball back into play. Measuring his options. Martin looks the best of them. Ablett has decked Stevens again.
About the third time back at him.
Yes. And Ablett and Martin continue their pleasantries. Ablett having a few words to Hayden Kennedy. Mick shows him the footy.
There's a fair bit of rivalry there with those two.
Well, Ablett had the last laugh at the 1994 preliminary final. Martin had the better of the day then, but Geelong won the match. It's going to be North Melbourne's turn today. Martin from midfield.
Mickey Martin, who the North Melbourne crowd love. Oh, what a good mark. Oh, he caught that in the hands like a slips catch down low. But look at the size of the hands, no wonder. McKernan has been sensational. Up towards half forward. Over the back, the little North Melbourne players are ready to swoop. Centre of the ground is Couch. He's played fairly well, Paul Couch. In towards half forward, and the mark taken by Brewer. Shane Brewer will kick for goal from 45 metres.
67,713, the official crowd today.
So Brewer from directly in front. It's a wobbly kick. Will it clear the pack? No, it won't. Almost a mark to the refrigerator, Mark Roberts. Takes it over the line for behind it. Geelong. But the sting right out of the game. Very disappointing by Geelong. Great by North Melbourne. They're going to be a real premiership threat.
Not going to be, they are. 52 points is again the difference. 106 to 54. King to bring it in. Carey tried from the back. Freeborn was in front, so too was Simpson, who's got the footy now. He's going to have to give it up to the umpire. Yes, I think the crowd here today, as I said, 67,000 and more, would have expected more from the Cats. They were disappointing last week, and probably even more so today, because much more depended on this afternoon's outcome than on the last home and away game. So a very disappointing note for Gary Ayres and his match committee to end the season on. Mansfield got taken out of the contest. So too did Addison. Mansfield got the football. Barnes, good use of the body. Simpson up high. He's got the football again on the ground. Adam Simpson. Sanderson went without it. Martin. Oh, good on you, Mick. Out the Roberts. They love him. The refrigerator just a tad slow. So a turnover. McKinnon in front of Blakey. Long kick by the former Crow. And he's just off target, landing it through for one behind. His first score of the afternoon, a minor one. Obviously, North Melbourne supporters, they're smiling. Not too many smiles amongst the Cats fans. It's 55 to 106. 51 points is the margin. Bell has the mark. He'll give it away to Rock.
Bell, the two little fellas there. Rock combining with Bell. And, well, Fairley's done a good job down there. Hasn't had huge stats. In fact, he's only had 3 kicks and 1 handball, but he's covered Stoneham very, very well. Barry Stoneham's had 2 kicks and 2 handballs, so honours certainly with Fairley. Here's Derek Hall. Hand pass. Rock used his body beautifully on Hocking. Peter Bell. Here's Couch. He's kept trying hard, Paul Couch. They're all very indecisive, not sure. There's no one leading. And they just bomb it away. Now, Sanderson, a good chance to mark this. Good spoiling by Stevens. Here's McKinnon. Gives it off to Brad Scholl. And Scholl bends it around a little bit too much. And one behind only to the Cats.
Yes, you're talking about good jobs in defence. Probably Ashley McIntosh's effort yesterday over at Perth was just a similar instance of fairies. Unspectacular, but very effective. So King again does the kicking in. Again favours the member stand side here at the MCG. Carey, good use of the body to get rid of his opponent McGrath. Chips it up towards midfield. Finds Scholl. A little give back to the skipper. Won't lose him any votes. Across Sanderson. Allison. Can he be first to recover again and get 7? Freeborn gives it over. Schwass is going to kick this goal. In he goes. Bang! Well, they could have had anybody kick that. 16-16 to 7-14. And Carey started it all off, didn't he?
Yeah, so it's funny, before the game, Pete, I was talking to a chap outside, and he said the way these two teams play, it could very well be a bit of a blowout either way, and it's worked out that way certainly for North Melbourne. Whenever Geelong's looked threatening right through the whole game, they've been able to assert themselves once more, and now they're starting to run away with it.
Again, North Melbourne go forward as McKernan got it down to Rock. Here's Freeborn. Oh, they've got good players everywhere. North Melbourne as Freeborn brings it in towards full forward. A loose ball again, and a handball back towards the line. Ellison! Yes! Goal number 7. Well done, Brett Ellison. A very clever little kick off the ground, and he deserved it. 7 terrific goals by the little half forward.
Gee, Eric Canton would have been happy with that, wouldn't he?
Well, you can see he just set himself up for that. The kick coming into him was pretty good as McKernan comes off for a well-earned rest, and Matthew Capuano comes on, but the handball going backwards, looking for some safety, didn't have the distance to find the points, and it's a clever kick by Allison. He summed it up really well.
When you're hot, you're hot. Allison certainly is. 7 goals, 118 to 56. It is a real blowout here. Barnes takes the mark. 35 metres out from goal. He's kicked 1 goal this afternoon. Halfway through the last quarter, Barnes at the main scoreboard end puts it through. So his second. 17-16 to 8-14. And Corey McKernan having a well-earned rest, as well he might, with 20 kicks, 10 marks, 4 hand passes, and a couple of goals. Well, 1 goal too, actually, to be precise.
But I'm not sure to be going through the minds of Gary Ayres and Jeff Geeshan, but pretty lacklustre performance, and really nothing's changed, has it?
Well, they've had 4 very disappointing grand finals, and a lot of their players have got poor finals records now. There's Colbert going to half forward, so they'll have to have a good look at their list at the end of this season, Geelong. There's King, Schwass, Laidley, and out here is Stevens, Anthony Stevens. He's a pretty tough nut. It's knocked around the boundary line and over by Brenton Sanderson, and the umpire will speak to Sanderson and Stevens. So it's on centre wing. There's Brenton Sanderson. David King, a juggling mark. They're very even side, North Melbourne. They've got good players on every line. There's little Bell, Schwass off the ground towards the centre. Kicked by Robert Scott. Carey's marked. Oh, brilliant mark, and there's space. This is danger. Look at that, kicking to the spaces, Carey. That is fantastic to show. And that's what Geelong haven't been able to do all day.
Yes, that's just getting the class of Carey standing out. The opportunities coming his way. Just took a step forward to steady himself. Didn't play on, then just turned and knew that Scholl was going to lead to the space. Gave him every chance.
So Craig Scholl will kick for his second. In a terrific team performance by North Melbourne. Will kick from 45 metres. And he's drifted this one across and missed.
1 goal 3.
Well, even at this stage of the game, he's not too happy with himself. But 17 to 8-14 is a hiding.
57 points, the margin. Tanner, who kicked Geelong's first goal. They've only had 7 kicks since. It's one-way traffic. Although they were certainly in with a chance at half-time when they trailed by only 22 points. McGrath kicks it back to Couch. He's certainly given everything. 24 kicks now to the 89 Brownlow medalist. Brewer copped a heavy knock early. Mansfield, another try for Geelong. 12 kicks. And Buddha Hocking, maybe just a little bit too far out to score with the wet football. 17 kicks, that's his 18th now. So he gets it in short. King probably got that injury still in the back of his mind. The man standing the mark has kicked 7 goals. He came on in the first quarter to replace Barnes, went down pretty heavily on the outer side with either a knee or an ankle. I notice he's got his knee bandaged now. And the youngster takes size 17 boots. Let's see what he does with one of them. Out of bounds in the forward pocket. Touched off hands, and so we will see a throw-in. But certainly a player of the future. He looks a little bit proppy there. 7 minutes remaining. 57 points is the margin. So it's going to be Capuano. We haven't seen too much of him today with Barnes. Rock. It's cannoned into. Snap at goal. That's one behind.
Yeah, it's by Brewer, Pete. Kick coming from Ian Fairley off the ground there. Just trying to clear the ball as quickly as he could. Unfortunately, put it straight back down the throat of Shane Brewer, who missed what really should have been a goal.
56 points the margin. Schwass this time kicking in instead of King.
And a beautiful long kick. The 2 number 6s. Is that a free kick? No, says the umpire. Fairly. The ball was deemed to be within the 5-metre mark. Their Stoneham has had a very, very quiet day. Knocked on by Craig Scholl. And over the line. He's a good, honest player, Craig Scholl. He can play in a lot of positions. They're using him as a forward, but he can play half-back. He can play on a wing. And Stoneham picking him up at the moment. Capuano giving McKernan a well-earned rest. Couch has another touch. Scholl gets it to Hall. Hall over the top. McGrath and Carey have had a fantastic battle. Here's Ablett up in the centre of the ground. And he's getting the hoots of the North Melbourne supporters. Shoves off Mickey Martin. Then he drives it long and wide. Good punch away. That was by Archer. Here's Simpson. Well played by Simpson. And onto the left foot. Brings it into the half-forward area. And that's a good mark by Colbert as he cops one across the face for his trouble. And he'll kick from about 30 metres.
And his 6 kicks. That's his 3rd mark.
He certainly found it hard today, Pete, to reproduce the influence he had on the game in round 21, where he really was an outstanding player. Did some terrific things at the right time to lift his side, but hasn't been able to find much today.
So Colbert from directly in front for his first goal of the game. He stabs and he has kicked it. So a belated goal to Geelong, but they've copped a real hiding here at the MCG today.
Yeah, they have, Pete, and some people thought that maybe Geelong would come out and really throw down the gauntlet to North Melbourne and make sure they asserted themselves early in the finals, but it's been quite the opposite. North coming in as favourites have certainly played that way and have given themselves a deserved rest.
$50 points the difference. 5 minutes remaining in the game. Tanner and Allison, the latter has kicked 7 goals. He just looks a little bit proppy there, Brett Allison, the way he ran for that. Let's hope he's okay. Just giving the... Or maybe he's got a bit of cramp in the calf. So, King and Capuano. 2 ruckmen we haven't seen much of today. Probably the cleanest fellas out there on the field at the moment. Couch back to Scholl. Oh, Hocking nearly. They'd pay him for effort, I think. The umpire agrees. So Gary Hocking, a little give. But Gary Ablett. Roberts in front. Off his fists and out of bounds. In Geelong's left forward pocket. As the clock ticks down with 5 minutes remaining. Let's take a look at Hocking's mark. Paid in the end by the umpire. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No worries about that today. So Barnes with Capuano. Rocks in front. Simpson tried to go off the ground. Had an airy. And was rushed through for a behind. It was. 17-17 to 9-16. And King again kicks in.
And Essendon supporters and the club themselves will be delighted with this result because they're still in it. As we said, Sanderson unable to pick it up. Hocking still working hard. There's Riccardi. He's been disappointing. Couch loses the ball in the tackle. It's shuffled up by Blakey. Back it comes to Ronnie Burns. He's been quiet. Round the boundary line it goes and over by Derek Hall.
This Burns just 5 kicks for the day.
5 kicks and 2 handballs. And you see Dean Laidley on screen wearing him like a glove. Plays close and hard, Laidley. Capuano versus King. King flicks it over the back, socket off the ground. Quick kick comes out towards the boundary line and rolls over.
17 kicks to Tim McGrath. Petey's done a pretty good job.
Look, he's tried his heart out on Carey. Hasn't been disgraced, and Wayne Carey's been responsible for a few goals. But he's kicked to himself and given away about 3 or 4.
He has, especially to Allison, who's been on the end of a couple of lightning hand passes. Hall's kick, good block there by, it was Brewer's taken the mark. Laidley really made him earn it. So Brewer, Roberts from behind will spoil and comes up with a football. A good effort from the refrigerator. As North try to work it forward again, but a throw, and it's going to be a Geelong free kick. Maybe a tad harsh. King doesn't agree.
Yeah, it looked like a knock-on, didn't it?
It did. McKinnon's got it now. So Marty McKinnon gets the call to play on, gets around King. Barnes nearly, Martin's there, just hoiks it over the top of the pack for another rush behind. And
Mickey says, come out here with me.
And even 8 goals the difference. He's enjoying it out there, Mick. I suppose when you look at the scoreboard, you could easily understand why. So the Sun makes a reappearance, and so too does Darren Crocker. And that's out of bounds. Haven't seen too much of him today. Took a great mark last week. One of the veterans of the North Melbourne side. Runner-up in their best and fairest back in '92.
We've got plenty of depth, North Melbourne. He uses his interchange a lot. Dennis Pagan bringing them on and off, and well, he's sensibly giving McKernan a good rest in this last quarter of an hour. That's holding the ball, is it? No. Couch just gets a little toe poke to it. Blakey up in the air, one-on-one contest. Stoneham can't mark. And off his chest and over the line. He's had a very disappointing day, Barry Stoneham. So the throw in about 30 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. 2 kicks and 2 handballs. Just not good enough. They just haven't had enough players doing enough, Ross.
No. As I mentioned, Gary Eaves has tried a number of options, Pete, to try and swing this around a bit, but no success. He needs the support from the players. He just simply hasn't had it.
3 minutes left in this game. The boundary umpire to hoist it back in. Carey to do the ruck work, taps it down with 2 hands, and this will probably be taken over again, and Craig Scholl quite happy to do that. So scoreboard showing 17-17 to 9-17. So a comprehensive defeat this to Geelong. And again, a disappointing final series for the Cats. We see the ruck work again. Carey taking on King. Carey won it. Rock just couldn't pick it up. Here's Blakey. Shuffles it out back to the boundary line. Carey takes it over.
So North will go into the preliminary final, one of them. Good stats for Carey. He's had a very good game, but a good battle with McGrath. The latter's certainly not disgraced. McGrath's had more kicks, but Carey, you can't keep him down for too long. He kicked a couple himself, and as Pete said earlier, had a hand at a couple of others. Crocker goes down in a pretty severe tackle as they just play out the final few minutes of this match now, with the results not really in doubt, I suppose, past three-quarter time, where the difference was 43 points. The Cats did have a chance at the main break. They were 22 points behind. They had a lot of the football early in the third quarter, couldn't score, and then North took charge. Colbert's kick slews off the side of the boot. Bounce is going to be a factor. Roberts punches down to Allison. He'll get it back. Can he get number 8? He goes at goal from just inside 50. The King is there. Allison looks in a little bit of bother with
The right knee, I think.
knock to the knee. Well, that would be a blow in more ways than one.
It doesn't make such a difference when you've got a target like this bloke in Carey.
I just did it there when he kicked.
I think he did it earlier, didn't he? Out in the
He
wing?
was limping earlier. I thought it was cramp.
It was probably the same injury, I think.
Carey's kicked 2-2, and as we have mentioned, had a hand in quite a few others. Carey for his third. No trouble. 3-2 to Wayne Carey. So Allison will come off the ground and maybe just wrenched it, although that can be very painful. 18-17 to 9-17. He'd certainly be in the votes if you were giving them today. Let's see again what happened.
It's a bit stiffer in because I'm not giving votes. As you see, he might have just given it a niggle earlier on. Hopefully he'll be okay for a couple of weeks' time.
Wayne Carey has kicked 3, given away a few as Bell receives from Blakey. Centre wing. Oh, good mark to Freeborn. He's a good young player too, and they've got runners everywhere. They all peel off. Here's Carey. Oh, danger. I think they might end up getting another one here. Carey's going to bomb it long. Look at that long, good kick. Was that holding? No. Still there with Rock. Rock bends it back. Oh, don't tell me it's another one. It is. Look at Anthony Rock. He's wrapped.
He had a fortnight to kick it.
Well, that's his first goal, but you would have thought it was a premiership-winning goal. They lead now by the even 10 goals.
Yes, and he becomes their 10th goal kicker, Pete. Just important they all get a share of the action and finish this game right off. I look forward to that brilliant final in a couple of weeks' time. But again, Freeborn featuring, good experience for him in his first, big opponent's his 4th final.
Too easy, wasn't it?
Goal, yep.
Rock's first, as Ross said, the 10th goal kicker, and the difference is 10 goals. Allison off the ground with what looked like to be a knee injury. We hope it's not severe. The last 42 seconds of the game now. It's been one that the Cats would really prefer to forget. And they'll do some soul searching. Brewer missed it. He might get a second chance. Off the ground, Burns. Schwass likewise. Back to Roberts. They share it around again. Laidley out of defence as if they were about 6 points behind. Carey and McGrath. Carey may be finishing a tad the better, but it has been a good duel, certainly the duel of the day. And Riccardi might have got this first. I think he had his hands on it initially. No, it's going to be a ball up. Crocker was second cab off the rank there. King, there's the siren. North Melbourne in a hand canter and advance to the preliminary final. 19-17 to 10-17, a 10-goal thumping at the MCG. And Ron Casey, a smile from ear to ear. Good on you, Case. He'd be enjoying this.
And doesn't he love North Melbourne?
He does.
Casey.
He bleeds blue and white.
There's a terrific win for North too. Just really asserted themselves right throughout the game. You see this kick.
And ground staff coming out to make sure that there's no crowd invasion today. They've got the football back. So the Bombers look to fight another day. Their supporters would be happy with the result. Let's go down to Russell Morris.
Thanks, Peter. Mickey Martin. How do you feel, mate? A bit of revenge, sweet revenge.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, we won pretty comfortably, and I think we had a bit of advantage from a couple of weeks ago when they beat us. We had a couple of weeks to sort of study our game plan and try and play it the way we normally play it.
Mate, you must enjoy playing on Gary Ablett, like a bit of the rough stuff. It's good fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, like, you give and take, you know, both sides of the fence. But he's a great player. I mean, like, you just can't. You got to watch him all the time. You just can't let him run around by himself.
Do you study videos on him, or you plan on him a few times?
Not really. I mean, like, if I concentrate and focus on my own game, it doesn't really matter who you're playing on. It's just got to work to my game plan, strategy, and that.
Well, you've got a week off. You've got the preliminary final. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's put us in a better position than what we've been in the past 3 years. So hopefully we can do it.
Do you feel the pressure on? Like, you've been the bridesmaid the last couple of years. You've really got to win it this year now.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of pressure. I mean, 3 years in a row we've looked pretty good, but we haven't quite finished it off. But I think this year the boys are confident. We're playing well. We've got our best team at the moment, and it's going along fine.
Well, congratulations, Mick. You had an exceptional game. Go and enjoy it with the boys.
Thanks a lot, mate.